Hi students, our next topic is brick masonry. So brick masonry is a systematic arrangement of laying bricks and bonding them with mortar to form a unified mass which can transmit the superimposed load without failure. The second figure is showing the representation of the brick masonry. So brick masonry is the arrangement of individual units of bricks, and these individual units of the bricks are joined by mortar. So mortar is a mixture of cement, sand and water. So these each individual units of the brick in a brick masonry is joined by mortar such that a unified mass is created which can transmit the superimposed load. So that particular arrangement is termed as brick masonry. So in a brick masonry is a systematic arrangement of laying bricks and bonding them with mortar to form a unified mass which can transmit the superimposed load without failure. So the first figure is showing the individual unit, the individual brick. So standard size of a brick in India is 190 mm by 90 mm by 90 mm, which we have discussed in our workshop. So standard size of a brick is 190 mm by 90 mm by 90 mm, and nominal size is mentioned including the thickness of mortar. So nominal size of a brick is 200 mm by 100 mm by 100 mm. So the brick masonry is a systematic arrangement of laying bricks and bonding them with mortar to form a unified mass which can transmit the superimposed load without failure. Mainly this brick masonry is used for the construction of foundation, walls, retaining walls, column, etc. So next we will see some of the terms and definitions we usually using while discussing about brick masonry. The first one is header. So the first figure is showing the header, the red marking, the area of a brick. This red marking is showing header. Okay, so header is the brick laid with its length perpendicular to the direction of the wall, or else this portion, this width portion is termed as header. In the first figure, the red color shows the header. And the second one is stretcher. So stretcher is the brick laid with its length parallel to the direction of the wall. So this is the length of the brick. So in the second figure, the red portion is showing, the red color is showing the stretcher. So brick laid with its length parallel to the direction of the wall. So header is the length is perpendicular to the direction of wall, or else this width portion is termed as header, and stretcher is the brick laid with its length parallel to the direction of the wall, and this is the length of the brick, and this is termed as the stretcher. Hope you understood. The first one is showing the header and second one is showing the stretcher. And next term is batt. So batt is a portion of the brick cut across the width of the brick. Okay, so these two are the two different types of batt. So batt is the portion of the brick cut across the width of the brick. Okay, so two types of batters, 3/4 batt and half batt. Okay, so in a batt we are dividing the bricks or we are dividing the length of the brick. Okay, the length of the brick is getting reduced while preparing batt. So 3/4 batt is prepared or formed by cutting the brick along the length, or the length is reduced to 3/4 of the full length of the brick. Okay, so 3/4 batt, the first figure is showing the 3/4 batt. In that, the length of the brick batt is 3/4 times the length of the full brick. Okay, so this solid line is showing the 3/4 batt. So this is the particular 3/4 batt. This batt, the length of this batt is 3/4 times the length of the full batt. That is termed as 3/4 batt. And for half batt, the length of the batt is half times or half of the length of the full batt. Length of the full brick. So that is termed as half batt. So batt is a portion of the brick cut across the width of the brick. There are two type of batt, 3/4 batt and half batt. The 3/4 batt is having a length 3/4 times the length of the full brick, and half batt is having a length half times or half of the length of the full brick. Next term is closure. So closure is portion of the brick cut longitudinally with one face uncut is known as closure. So this figure is showing closure. The closure is formed by cutting brick longitudinally. This is the solid line is showing the closure and dotted one is showing the cutted portion. So portion of the brick cut longitudinally with one face uncut is known as closure. So this face is the cut face and on the back side it is the uncut face. So closure is formed by cutting longitudinally with one long face uncut is known as closure. Closure is also four types of closure is there. Queen closure, king closure, beveled closure and mitred closure. So first one is queen closure. The first figure is showing queen closure. In queen closure, the brick is cut into half by longitudinally. The cutting line is made. This is the cutting line. So the brick is made into half. Okay. അതായത് ഈ ബ്രിക്കിന്റെ നമ്മളിവിടെ width ആണ് half ആക്കുന്നത്. Length same length തന്നെയാണ്. Width is made into half. So that is termed as queen closure. And king closure is obtained by cutting a triangular portion. Okay, so king closure is obtained by cutting a triangular portion, and the triangular portion is starting from this half width. See, the width of one of its end is half that of full brick, while the width of the other end is equal to full width. See, this side it is having only half width, but this side it is having full width. Similarly, this side it is having only half length and this side it is having full length. So that is king closure. So king closure is obtained by cutting a triangular portion between the center one end and the center of other end. The triangular portion is starting from center of this end and joined to the center of this edge. So at the corner a triangular portion is removed. Thus king closure is obtained. Next one is beveled closure. Beveled closure is obtained by cutting a triangular portion of half width but full length. Okay, so the triangular portion is starting from the half portion or middle of the width and joined to the opposite corner. Thus the triangular portion is removed and beveled closure is obtained. Okay, so beveled closure is having half width at one end and full width at the other end, but the length is full length at both the ends. Okay. Next one is mitred closure. Mitred closure is obtained by cutting a triangular portion. The triangle is starting from this corner and joined to the opposite side such that the cutting edge is making a 45 to 60 degree. Okay, so mitred closure is obtained by cutting a triangular portion of brick through its width, making an angle of 45 to 60 degree with the length. Okay, so for a mitred closure, one edge will be having full width and this edge will be having lesser length than the original length and this side is having full length. Okay, so that is the mitred closure. Next term is perpend. Perpend means it is a vertical joint separating the bricks in either length or cross direction. These are the vertical joints. This particular figure is showing a brick masonry. These are the vertical joints. Okay, so these vertical joints are termed as perpend. These vertical joints are termed as perpend. So these vertical joints are separating the bricks in either in length or cross direction. This is the length of the brick masonry and perpendicular to this is the cross direction. Okay, so this vertical joint is separating the brick in either in length or in cross direction. This particular vertical joint is termed as perpend. Next one is lap. So lap is the horizontal distance between the vertical joints of successive cores. So before that we will see what is cores. So cores is a complete layer of brick laid on the same bed. So this is the first course and over that this is the second course. So course is termed as the brick laid on the same bed. The brick laid on the same bed is termed as a course. These are the successive courses. In this particular image there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 courses. Okay, so lap is defined as the horizontal distance between the vertical joints on successive courses. Okay, so in this figure it is shown, this is a vertical joint on the first course and this is a vertical joint on the second course. Lap is defined as the distance between these two vertical joints. The distance, horizontal distance between the vertical joints on successive courses. Similarly, the horizontal distance between this vertical joint on the first course and this vertical joint on the second course can be also defined as lap. So these are the different terms we used while discussing about brick masonry. Once again, I will tell that. First one is header. Header is this in the first figure, the red portion is showing the header, and second figure, the red portion is showing the stretcher. And bat is formed by cutting the brick across the width of the brick. And there are two types of bat, 3/4 bat and half bat. 3/4 bat is obtained by cutting the brick into 3/4 length of the full brick. So this is termed as 3/4 bat. And half bat is obtained by cutting the brick into half length. So that is termed as half bat. Next is closer. In closer, the width is getting reduced. First one is the brick cut longitudinally with one long face uncut. And there are four types of closer: queen closer, kin closer, beveled closer and mitred closer. Queen closer is obtained by cutting the width into half. Okay, so this particular one is queen closer. Here the length of the both side will be equal to length of the full brick, but the width is reduced into half of the full brick. Next one is kin closer. Kin closer is obtained by cutting a triangular portion. That triangular portion is starting from half the width and joining to half the length. This is the triangular portion. Next is beveled closer. Beveled closer is also obtained by cutting a triangular portion, but the triangular portion is starting from the half of the width and joining to the opposite corner. And mitred closer is also formed by cutting a triangular portion, but the triangular portion is starting from this corner and joining to the opposite edge such that this cutting line is forming a 45 to 60 degree. Next one is perpend. Perpend are the vertical joints which separate the individual brick units. And next is lap. Lap is the distance, horizontal distance measured between vertical joints on successive courses. Next is course. Course is a complete layer of brick laid on the same bed. So hope you understood all the terms and definitions. Next is types of brick bones. How we are forming. There in different ways we can construct a brick masonry. So these are the different four types of brick bones: stretcher bone, header bone, English bone and Flemish bone. Four types of brick bones are stretcher bone, header bone, English bone and Flemish bone. In this particular lecture I will explain about stretcher bone and header bone. So first one is stretcher bone. In stretcher bond, all the bricks are laid as stretchers on the face of the wall. So this is an isometric view of a stretcher bond. So I am considering this as my face of the wall, this direction as the face of the wall. When I am looking from here, all the bricks or the stretcher of the individual units are seen when I am looking from this side. So that particular bond is termed as stretcher bond. Okay, see, this is the first course. So all the individual units of the brick or the stretcher of the individual units of the brick is seen when I am looking from here. This is the second course. In the second course also all the stretchers are seen. So all the bricks are laid as stretcher on the face of the wall. That is, the length of the brick is laid along the direction of parallel to the direction of the wall. So this is the direction of the wall. So the length of the brick is laid along the direction parallel to the direction of the wall. And also we need to stagger the vertical joints. Okay, or considerably a lap distance is need to be provided between successive courses, or between the vertical joints of the successive courses. This is for the stability of the masonry. For that, in order to stagger the vertical joints, we are providing a header. Okay, on alternate courses we are providing header. Okay, so to stagger the vertical joints in board, header are used. On the first course, I have laid stretcher, all the brick stretcher continuously I am laying stretcher, and on the next course, the first one I have placed as header, then stretchers. Next course I have placed all stretcher. On the next course I have placed, first I have placed header, then stretcher. This header are used to stagger the vertical joints. Usually, stretcher bonds are mainly used in the construction of half brick thick partition wall. So, one brick thick partition wall means it will be having 20 centimeter or 200 mm. Okay, so half brick thick wall means it will be having 10 centimeter or 100 mm. You can see in this figure the thickness of the wall is 10 centimeter. So thickness of the wall is equal to width of the brick, which is equal to 10 centimeter or 100 mm. So that is why it is termed as stretcher bonds are mainly used in the construction of half brick thick partition walls. So partition walls are walls which will be considered for the partition of a usable space. So stretcher bonds are mainly used in the construction of half brick thick partition wall. So hope you understood. So stretcher bond are constructed by laying all the bricks are laid as stretcher on the face of the wall. And to stagger the vertical joints, header are used on alternative courses. So this is a typical sketch of a stretcher bond. You should know to draw the elevation as well as plan. You should learn to draw this elevation and plan. You can skip this isometric view. I have just included for your easiness in understanding. So you can skip isometric view, but you should know to how to draw elevation and plan. So this is the elevation. 1, 2, 3, 4 are the number of courses. So first one. This is the elevation and this is the plan view. So first course, the plan view of first, third and fifth one is shown in this. So in the D, plan D or figure number D. So the first course is made by laying stretchers. So continuously the stretcher of the brick is laid. And in this direction also the stretcher is laid. So but when we looking from this direction, this will be header one and remaining will be stretcher. And when we looking from this direction, all the bricks are laid in stretcher. And next layer is second course. Second course, the plan view of second course is shown in this figure. Alternatively, to stagger the vertical joints, first one will be header and remaining will be stretcher. And looking from this face, it will be all the bricks will be laid as stretcher. So hope you understood. And again the third course is similar to the first one shown in this plan, and fourth one is similar to the second one and which is shown in this plan. Next is header bond. So first bond is stretcher bond, next one is header bond. So header bond, in header bond all bricks are laid as header on the face of the wall. So in the previous one, in the stretcher bond, all the bricks are laid as stretcher on the face of the wall. So this is the face of the wall. All the bricks are laid header. So header side of the brick is laid along the direction of the wall. That is, the width of the brick is along the direction of wall. Width of the brick is termed as header, which is laid along the direction of wall. In header bonds, 3/4 bats are used in alternate course to stagger the vertical joints. As we discussed in the previous bond, in stretcher bond, headers are used to stagger the vertical joints, but in header bond, 3/4 bats are used in alternate courses to stagger the vertical joints. Hope you remember the 3/4 bat. 3/4 bat is having length equal to 3/4 of the length of full brick. So this 3/4 bat are used in alternate courses to stagger the vertical joints. So this particular figure showing the isometric view of the header bond, and it is usually, this header bond is usually used for partition walls, curved brick, etc. But this particular brick unit will be having, it is made with thickness of wall equal to 1 brick thick. So here you can see the thickness of the wall is equal to length of the brick, which is equal to 200 mm. In the previous structure bond, the thickness of the wall will be half of the thickness of the wall will be equal to width of the thickness of wall equal to width of one individual brick, which is equal to 10 centimeter or 100 mm. But in case of header bond, the thickness of the wall will be equal to length of the brick, which is equal to 200 mm or 20 centimeter. So in this figure also you should learn to draw elevation and plan. You can skip the isometric view. So in the elevation it is clear the first course is made by, in the first course initially we'll be placing 3/4 bat, then all the bricks are laid with header facing the direction of the wall. And in the second course we'll be placing, all the bricks are placed with header facing on the direction of the wall. Again on the third course, first one will be placing 3/4 bat to stagger the vertical joints. Then all the bricks are laid with header in the direction of the wall. Similarly, the fourth one. So this is the plan view of second, fourth and sixth course, and this is the plan view of first, third and fifth course. There is a correction, it is fifth course. Okay, so the first this is showing the first course plan of the first course. The first course is starting with a 3/4 bat. So this is the 3/4 bat. Again we are placing a header. The header is shown here. Header is placed. So in order to fill the length of the brick, we will place 2 3/4 bats. Okay, then all the bricks are laid with header facing the direction of the wall, and in this direction also all the bricks are placed with header facing the or in the direction of the wall. And this is showing the plan of second course. In the second course also we'll be placing, here we'll be seeing the two header. These are the two header of the 3/4 bat. Then all the bricks are laid with header. So this is the second course. Again on the third course, this plan is showing the third course, and this plan is showing the fourth course. So hope you understood these two type of bonds, stretcher bond and header bond. In the next video or in the next lecture, I'll explain English bond and Flemish bond. So thank you.